In the heart of a forgotten town, surrounded by cracked roads and broken streetlights, lived a young boy named Adam. His house was nothing more than a small room made of old wood and rusted metal sheets. When the wind blew, the walls shook. When it rained, the roof leaked drops of cold water onto his thin blanket. Adam grew up with nothing and no toys, no money, and sometimes not even enough food. But he had a dream. Every time he passed the city square, he saw a large billboard showing a famous singer performing under bright lights. People were cheering, cameras flashing, music filling the air. Adam would stop and stare, his heart burning with a desire he couldn't explain. Greater than one die broken bar, that will be me, he whispered to himself. His mother, Maryam, worked day and night cleaning houses to support him. Her hands were always tired, her feet always swollen, but she never complained. One night, Adam asked her, "Greater than Mama, do you believe I can become someone?" She smiled, though her eyes looked exhausted. "Greater than not some in a broken bar, you will become yourself, and that will be enough." Those words stayed in his heart forever. The hunger for more. At school, Adam was different. While other kids laughed, played, and talked about new clothes and phones, Adam sat alone thinking. He had a voice that carried pain, hope, and fire. When he sang, even the old neighbors stopped and listened. But the world didn't care about talent if it came from poverty. One day, a school talent competition was announced. Adam signed up immediately, but on the morning of the event, something happened. He looked down at his shoes, torn, dirty, embarrassing. The other students would laugh, the judges would never take him seriously. His hands shook, his chest tightened. He almost walked away a broken bar, but then he remembered his mother's words, "Greater than become yourself." With a trembling heart, he walked onto the stage. The students laughed, the teachers whispered, the judges looked bored. Then, Adam closed his eyes, and he sang. Not just with his voice a broken bar, but with every wound, every hunger, every silent cry he lived through. The room fell silent. No one laughed anymore. When he finished, no one clapped. Not because they didn't like a broken bar, but because they were speechless. Finally, one teacher stood and clapped, then another, and another. Adam didn't win the contest. They said his voice was too emotional, too raw. But that day, something awakened in him. He realized something important. Greater than talent alone was not enough. The world rewards the loud, the bold, the persistent. He needed to fight. Life gets harder. The next year was the hardest of Adam's life. His mother fell sick. The doctors said they needed money for treatment, a broken bar, money they didn't have. Adam worked everywhere he could, carrying boxes in markets, cleaning car windows at traffic lights, singing in street corners for coins. People walked past him, ignoring him like he was invisible. But sometime as a broken bar, one person would stop and listen. Their eyes would soften, they would give him a few coins set and hope. Every night, Adam returned home exhausted, but before sleep, he always whispered, "Greater than one die broken bar." He believed it, even when everything around him told him to give up. The unexpected chance. One cold evening, Adam was singing on a busy street. Cars rushed by. People walked quickly, not listening. Suddenly, a black car stopped. A woman stepped out, elegant, confident, important. She listened, really listened. When Adam finished, she approached him. "Greater than who taught you to sing like that?" Adam looked surprised. "Greater than life," he said quietly. She smiled. "Greater than come to this address tomorrow. I want to hear more." She handed him a card. Her name was Lena Harcourt, one of the biggest music producers in the city. Adam stood frozen. His heart raced. His hands shook. This was it, the moment he had prayed for. But something inside him whispered, "Greater than don't celebrate yet. This is only the beginning." And he was right. The next morning, Adam woke up before the sun. He washed his face with cold water, wore his cleanest shirt even though it was all day, and looked in the mirror. His eyes were tired, but filled with hope. His mother watched him quietly from her bed. "Greater than, are you leaving?" she asked softly. "Greater than, yes, a broken bar today might change everything," he replied. She smiled weakly. "Greater than, no matter what happens, a broken bar, I am proud of you." Adam held her hand gently before leaving. He walked to the city. His legs were tired, but his heart pulled him forward like a magnet. The door to another world. The building was enormous, tall glass, shining floors, people in perfect clothes. Adam felt small, very small. He stepped inside. At the front desk, the receptionist looked at his clothes and frowned. Greater than, do you have an appointment? Adam nodded and handed her the card. Her eyes widened slightly. It was real. Greater than, take the elevator to floor 18. Adam stepped into the elevator. As the doors closed, he saw his reflection in the metal walls. Poor, thin, worn-out shoes, but his eyes a broken bar. His eyes were alive. When the elevator opened, he saw her, Elena Harcourt, standing with a cup of coffee, waiting. Greater than, you came, she said warmly. Greater than, yes, greater than good. Come with me. She led him into a music studio filled with microphones, speakers, and headphones. It felt like stepping into a dream. A man with gray hair sat behind a large mixing board. Greater than, this is Daniel, one of the best sound engineers in the city. Daniel nodded at Adam. Greater than, let's hear what you've got. Adam stepped in front of the microphone. His heart pounded. This was it. He closed his eyes a broken bar, and sang. He sang with the pain of hunger. He sang with the loneliness of growing up unseen. He sang with the love he had for his mother. He sang with every ounce of hope left in him. When he finished, the room was silent. Daniel leaned back slowly. Greater than a broken bar, there's something in his voice. Lena crossed her arms, thinking. Greater than, raw, pure, real. Adam's heart beat faster. Was this a yes? Lena looked at him firmly. Greater than, Adam, broken bar, I can train you. I can shape you. I can put you on a stage. But the world will not be kind to you. Are you ready for that? Adam didn't hesitate. Greater than, I've survived worse. She smiled. Greater than, then your journey begins today. The training, the next weeks were brutal. Adam trained for hours. Voice control, breath work, stage presence, confidence drills. His voice cracked, his throat burned, his body ached. Sometimes he cried in silence, not because it hurt, but because he feared failing. But every night, he thought of his mother. He could not go back with nothing. He refused to break. The first performance. Finally, the day came. Lena arranged a small live performance at a cafe copyright known for discovering new talent. It wasn't a big stage, but it was a start. Adam stood behind the curtain. His heart was pounding so hard he felt it in his throat. People laughed, talked, ate, completely unaware he existed. The host stepped forward. Greater than, next performer, a new voice, a broken bar, Adam. Adam walked onto the stage. Silence. He saw their eyes, judging, measuring, waiting for him to fail. His hands shook, but in a broken bar. He remembered the leaking roof, the empty plates, his mother's tired smile, and he sang. His voice filled the cafe copyright, soft at first, then powerful. Conversations stopped, chairs turned, eyes widened. By the end of the song, people were standing. Some had tears in their eyes, some applauded loudly, some recorded him on their phones. It was the first time Adam felt seen. When he stepped off stage, Lena looked at him with pride. Greater than, you did it. Adam smiled for the first time in a long time. Greater than, this is only the beginning. And he was right, because that night, something happened that neither of them expected. A famous influencer who was in the cafe copyright posted a video of Adam singing. Within hours, a broken bar. It went viral. Millions watched. Thousands commented. People searched his name. The world had finally heard him. But with family, a broken bar comes darkness. The next morning, Adam woke to hundreds of messages. But among the praise broken bar, there were also insults. Greater than, he's fake. He'll never make it. He looks poor. Who does he think he is? The same world that lifted him up, a broken bar, immediately tried to break him again. Adam stared at the screen. His hands trembled. His chest tightened. Lena placed her hand on his shoulder. Greater than, listen to me. If you let their words control you, you will lose everything. You must choose who you are. Adam closed his eyes. He remembered where he came from, and he whispered, greater than, I choose to rise. Weeks turned into months. Adam's voice spread across the internet like wildfire. People shared his videos, played his songs, and spoke his name everywhere. He started to perform in bigger places, music lounges, small theaters, outdoor festivals, and every time he stepped on a stage, The crowd grew larger, he could feel his dream getting closer, a broken bar step by step. But fame is not a blessing alone, it is a test. Money changes everything. With his growing success came money, not a lot at first, but enough to change the way people treated him. Neighbors who ignored him now smiled at him. People who once mocked his clothes now praised his talent. But the biggest change was at home. Adam now paid for medicine. He bought warm food. He patched the roof. His mother got better. Her smile returned. One evening, she held his hand and whispered, "Greater than you kept your promise." Tears filled Adam's eyes. "Greater than I did it for you." She shook her head gently. "Greater than Noah broken bar, you did it for the boy who never stopped dreaming." The world opens its doors. Soon, a major music label offered Adam a contract. Fancy suits, luxury studios, professional photographers, TV interviews. He walked into rooms he never imagined entering. But with every spotlight a broken bar came a shadow. Managers told him, "Greater than change your style, be more confident, smile more, don't speak about your past. People don't need to know you were poor." They wanted his voice, not his story. Adam felt something breaking. He didn't want to become someone else. But if he refused a broken bar, the door to fame might close. He stayed silent for a while. The moment that changed everything. One day, Adam was invited to perform on one of the biggest stages in the country. Television, reporters, millions watching. This was the moment he dreamed of. Backstage, he stood in front of the mirror. He looked different. Better clothes, better hair, better posture, but his eyes a broken bar. His eyes were the same. The boy from the broken house was still inside. A stage worker rushed in. "Greater than you're on in 3 minutes." Adam's heart raced. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. It was his mother. A voice message. He pressed play. Her voice was soft, full of warmth. "Greater than no matter how high you climb. My soul broken bar, never forget the ground you started from. Your story is your strength." Adam closed his eyes, and something shifted. He knew what he had to do. The performance, the stage lights blinded him. The audience looked like an endless ocean of faces. He held the microphone. Music started, but he didn't sing the song the label wanted. He sang the song of his life. The leaking roof, the cold nights, his mother's hands, the street corners, the hunger, the dream that refused to die. His voice cracked. It trembled. It soared. The audience felt it deeply. Some wiped their tears. Some held their breath. Some just stared, frozen. When the final note echoed a broken bar, the audience rose to their feet. A standing ovation. But behind the curtain, the label executives were furious. "Greater than we told you not to sing that song." Adam stood tall. "Greater than if I cannot sing my the broken bar, then I don't want your stage." He walked out, not with fans, not with cameras, not with applause, but with himself. The return home. A month later, Adam stepped back into his old neighborhood, not as a failure, not as a hero, just as Adam. He entered the small house. His mother was sitting in her usual chair. He hugged her tightly. "Greater than I didn't lose my dream," he said. "I found it." She smiled. "Greater than and who are you now?" Adam took a breath, steady and sure. "Greater than I am the voice of everyone who had nothing, a broken bar, and still believed they could be more." The true fame. Adam continued his music independently. No labels, no rules, no lies. His songs spread further than ever before, not because they were perfect, but because they were real. People listened. They cried. They healed. Adam didn't just become famous. He became a story. The story of a boy who had nothing, a broken bar, except a dream strong enough to fight the world. Final message. There are people who are born into light, and there are people who become the light. Adam was the second, and so can you.